One Hand Clapping is a rarely seen documentary filmed in August of 1974 over the course of 4 days by Paul McCartney and his then band Wings at Abbey Road Studios in London. The film features live performances and voiceovers with each member talking about their musical experiences prior to joining the band and with the band up to that point. The film is directed by David Litchfield, edited by Brian Huberman, with cinematography by Howard Sharp and John Druce, and sound by John Page. The film isn't a documentary in the way that you would expect, it is more of a diary of home videos. You also get to see various Polaroids of the band that are largely previously unseen. Aside from endearing introductions by Paul McCartney in 2024 done exclusively for cinema audiences, there are no new interviews. I like this approach as it makes the film feel like a time capsule. The cameras used were clearly very basic, and I imagine that due to these particular cameras, they were not able to do a serious restoration job in the vein of the recent Beatles Disney Plus series, Peter Jackson's Get Back. It is also possible that the original film is lost, and that these are second or third generation videos. Or maybe they were just lazy and couldn't be bothered doing a great 4K remaster. Regardless, I think that the lo-fi feel of the image is part of the charm of the film and allows for an intimate, fly-on-the-wall-like experience for the audience. This is Wings at the height of their powers. They were a very tight live band by this point. Recently coming off the hit album Band on the Run, the band had finally solidified their success in their own right, removed from the Beatles. The lineup here consists of then new members Jimmy McCulloch on guitar and Jeff Britton on drums, as well as the core members Linda McCartney on keyboards and vocals, Denny Lane on guitar and vocals, and of course Paul McCartney on vocals, bass, piano and guitar. McCartney's vocals are at their absolute peak here. This is the lineup that would go on to record the classic 1975 album Venus and Mars. It goes without saying that the songs in this film are incredible. You get to hear classics like Jet, Maybe I'm Amazed, My Love, Bluebird, Band on the Run, Live and Let Die, and 1985, but you also get often unheard early McCartney penned gems such as Suicide and I'll Give You a Ring. Earlier this year, a double album was released entitled One Hand Clapping. This includes the songs you hear in the film, plus many more from these sessions. It even includes versions of the Beatles' classics Let It Be, Lady Madonna, and The Long and Winding Road. The album hit the charts at number 10 in the UK and number 74 in the US. The album is a great listen and a great accompaniment to the film. There is a great surprise at the end of One Hand Clapping to, I think, compensate for its short runtime, but it obviously is still part of the package. We get an extra segment entitled The Backyard, where McCartney holds an impromptu solo covers session outside the back of Abbey Road Studios, during the making of One Hand Clapping. McCartney plays songs by Eddie Cochran and Buddy Holly, songs that he loved growing up, and it reminds you that however great he is at rocking out on bass with a band or delivering a powerful piano ballad, McCartney is never better than when you sit him down with just his voice and an acoustic guitar. This is where he excels performance-wise and songwriting-wise. Every single one of his albums has at least one song like this, whether it is Calico Skies from Flaming Pie, Jenny Wren from Chaos and Creation in The Backyard, The Kiss of Venus from McCartney 3, or Blackbird from the Beatles' White Album, a version of which was actually played during the Backyard session, but can only be heard on the album. It is not featured in the film, although the cinema staff did play it over the speakers when we were all exiting. When I saw this in the cinema, there were a range of people in the audience, as there have been the 2 times that I've been lucky enough to see McCartney live in concert. Everyone was having a great time, The cinema environment forces you to listen to the music free from distractions. I'd like to think that some of the younger people in the audience were experiencing songs they may not have ever heard before, and that it will prompt them to go and listen to these songs and others like them at home. No matter the presentation, there isn't ever going to be much to criticise about getting to see and hear Paul McCartney play his incredible songs, and getting to see new footage of band members that are sadly no longer with us in Linda, Denny and Jimmy. I would definitely recommend this film to music fans, and of course fans of Paul McCartney and Wings, and if you are someone who is a Beatles fan but haven't delved into McCartney's solo work or his work with Wings, this may just be a great place to start.